All right, today we're diving into something, well, it's a breathtakingly ambitious idea. We're talking about a high-tech solution for one of the biggest environmental challenges on the entire planet. The title says it all, right? From bits to biomass. We're going to see how serverless AI could be the key to restoring our oceans. It's this incredible fusion of tech and biology, so let's get into it.
I mean, seriously, think about that for a second. How do you clean an entire ocean? It just feels impossible, right? The sheer scale of it is staggering. We're talking about 71% of our planet's surface, and it's in deep, deep trouble. So yeah, where would you even begin?
Okay, so before we jump into the really cool futuristic solutions, we have to get a handle on just how big this problem is. And look, it's not just about the plastic bags you see floating on the waves. This is a crisis that's happening deep below the surface, and it's messing with everything, from oxygen levels to the basic chemistry of our planet's life support system.
So let's break down these threats, the stuff that's often completely invisible from the shore. First up, you've got these pervasive microplastics. We're talking tiny bits of plastic that are now in pretty much everything, from the salt on your food to the fish on your plate. Then you have the big, catastrophic stuff like oil spills. They just literally choke entire ecosystems to death. And on top of that, there's the silent killer, widespread chemical pollutants. Each one of these is a massive challenge on its own, and you know what? Our traditional cleanup methods, they just can't keep up. Not even close.
So, with a problem this overwhelming, it's clear we need a totally new approach. A new kind of lifeguard, if you will. And this is where it gets really interesting, because this is where AI enters the picture. It offers a completely different way of thinking about how we can intervene and actually restore things on a global scale.
Okay, first concept you need to get is serverless AI. Now, what does that even mean? Well, the key thing to understand is that there's no central brain. Think about it. If you're trying to clean an entire ocean, you can't have a single system that has to constantly phone home to some giant server on land. It's just not practical. This way, you get a truly massive, super flexible, and resilient network that can spread out over huge areas of water. It's all about decentralized power.
And that brings us to the second piece of the puzzle, distributed intelligence. The best way to picture this is to think of a swarm, like a swarm of bees or a flock of birds. They all work together without a single leader telling them what to do. So imagine a network of tiny autonomous agents, maybe some kind of bio-integrated micro-drones, all working together to do something really complex, like hunting down and neutralizing pollutants. And the kicker? They do it all without a human having to joystick every single move.
And this really just lays it all out, doesn't it? Look at the difference. On one side, you've got our traditional methods. Think one boat, one net. It's slow, it's super labor-intensive, and honestly, it's barely scratching the surface of the problem. But then you look at the other side, AI-driven restoration. It's autonomous, it's scalable to a massive degree, and it's continuous. It works 24/7. This isn't just a small improvement, folks. It's a complete game changer in how we even think about solving this.
Okay, that's the high-level theory. But how does this stuff actually work when it hits the water? Let's take a look at how this all comes together, how we get from digital code to, say, the physical restoration of a coral reef.
So it all works in this continuous, really intelligent cycle. First, the AI swarm identifies pollutants, and we're talking with incredible precision here, like being able to tell the difference between a dangerous microplastic and a tiny harmless fish egg. Step 2, it neutralizes those threats. Maybe it breaks them down on a molecular level, but, and this is so crucial, it doesn't stop there. It's not just a cleanup crew. Step 3 is regenerating biomass, where the system actively helps rebuild the damaged ecosystem. And finally, number 4, it monitors the health of the area, kind of like a doctor checking vital signs, making sure that the recovery is actually working and is going to last.
And that really gets to the heart of it. This goes so far beyond just cleaning up. The goal is active ecosystem regeneration. It's not just about taking out the bad stuff. It's about putting the good stuff back in. The whole point is to take a dead zone and bring it back to a state of vibrant, abundant life. It's about healing.
Which brings us to the long-term vision here, the real endgame. Because this isn't about a one-and-done cleanup mission. Nope. This is about creating something permanent, an intelligent framework for the future of our ocean's health.
And this quote really says it all, establishing a self-sustaining, intelligent restoration framework. Let that sink in. Self-sustaining, intelligent. That means we're talking about a system that can manage, heal, and maintain the oceans on its own, long after we're gone. When you really stop and think about the implications of that, it's just mind-blowing.
You know, here's a really powerful way to think about it. Imagine a digital immune system for the planet's oceans. Just like your own immune system, it wouldn't just react to a big disaster. It would constantly be patrolling, on the lookout for threats. It would identify them, neutralize them, and heal the damage, all to keep the entire global ecosystem in balance. That is a truly profound idea.
And that really leaves us with this one final fascinating question to just chew on. If we can do this, if we can create a self-sustaining AI to manage our oceans, what else can we do? What does that mean for the future? I mean, what could a truly intelligent planet, one that actively manages its own health, what could that really look like? It kind of pushes the boundaries of what we even think is possible. Thanks for exploring this with me today.